All right, a couple months ago, Yeti released this backpack, the 27-liter Bozeman. They did this after purchasing or acquiring Mystery Ranch. So this was the first bag that they did together. Now, I think it was actually intended to be a collaboration between the two, and maybe even led to Yeti acquiring Mystery Ranch. This is just a theory on my part. But regardless, we ended up with this bag, which everyone was kind of afraid of because if you were a Mystery Ranch fan, you really didn't want to see Mystery Ranch going away, and I get it. But this one changed my opinion on the whole situation because it is a fantastic collaboration of features and materials we saw with Yeti, and a fantastic, well, the tri-zip, now called rip zip, and a fantastic harness, all packaged into the Bozeman 27-liter backpack. It's fantastic, and I think it is really one of the best bags that I've seen in a while because of all of its features, which I detailed in a video that I'll post over here in case you want to go back and see this. But now we have the next iteration of backpacks from Yeti, and it's pretty cool. And so here we are with the newest, not only in a 27-liter size, but a 22-liter size. What is this? These are the Rancheros, the Ranchero line, which is separate from the Bozeman line. And in this video, we're going to take a look at the differences between the Ranchero line and the Bozeman. And we're also going to answer the question, is the Bozeman coming back? Let's get into it. Yes, this is very cool. Now, the Bozeman is a limited release item that is not intended to come back in stock right now. And this is from Yeti, who I had the privilege of talking to them about both the Bozemans and the Rancheros and some of the features and sort of the future of what's happening with Mystery Ranch. And we'll get to some of those details maybe at the end. But regardless, this is not intended to come back. However, they made it, and all the features are things that they own, so they could make it if you wanted to see it again. And maybe after you see the differences, maybe you'll want to see the Bozeman re-released, or maybe you'll like the Rancheros, which is intended to be a always available line. It's going to be available in 3 colors: black, olive, and taupe. So these are the 3 colors that you'll see listed on the website. If you're watching this on the release day, which is the last day, February 28th, you have to sign up for a Yeti account to get access to the Rancheros. Doesn't cost you anything, but it gets you into the Yeti system and you'll be able to access these. Otherwise, if you're from the future, they're now probably everywhere and also listed at the Yeti.com website. Link in the description if you want to go follow along and support the channel with an affiliate link. Doesn't cost you anything and just supports the channel. Now, like I said, 2 sizes, 22 liters, 27 liters. They look very similar, right? Now, there is one big difference that you'll note, and a bunch of little ones which we'll dive into. The biggest difference is really this harness. Now, the Bozeman came with this Futura harness, which is in a lot of the higher end outdoor packs and a lot of the collaboration bags that Mystery Ranch did with other people, namely Carryology. This Futura harness is just really robust and really cool, super adjustable, and probably honestly overkill for this size of bag. So what did we do here? Well, we don't have a Futura harness. And when I saw it initially, I was like, oh, well, that's disappointing. It doesn't have the coolest thing about the Bozeman. But after using it, wearing it, I am actually really impressed with what they did. And I come to terms with the fact that the Futura is actually overkill for most people, and really for a lot of scenarios, even if you have this style harness. And this is, after wearing it with a heavier load, I think the best happy medium I can imagine from a Futura to put on a different backpack. Now, the advantages are lighter weight, not as cumbersome, but it's not as adjustable. But we still get load lifters. Like, for instance, this one here has got the load lifters sort of dialed in when I was wearing it. Sort of kind of keeps the harness in place and that kind of thing. This one over here, the 27 liter, just has the load lifters totally expanded. And so the rest of this bag, the harness system, sits a little flatter. So easier to put in the overhead, easier to put in the car seat next to you. You don't kind of have this whole thing over. This thing just easily folds out of place to keep this more, just, you know, more manageable on a day-to-day, everyday carry configuration. So that being said, I do think the harness, obviously the biggest difference between these two, there's little ones, like I said, we'll get into, but I think this is a nice happy medium and probably the more, I don't know, more mainstream, has more mainstream utility, I would say, for this harness style compared to the Futura. So don't get me wrong, I love the Futura, but I think this is a great option and make this a more readily accessible bag for more people. So there you go. All right, let's start off with taking the 22 liter away and really focusing in and starting our comparison with what's the difference between these two bags at 27 liters, visually about the same with the exception of obviously the harness, but what's different? Well, let's start with the same. We have the same tri-zip, call it a rip zip now over with Yeti, and we have the ground control padded bottom, which allows this thing to basically really stand in any configuration, no matter how heavy you packed it or no matter what. It just seems to always stand because the way this base plate is attached, it is angled, but it still stands. So I really do like that. Now, since we already talked about the harness, that it's different, what is cool about this is a couple things. First, we have load lifters. So you still get a cool harness and you get the load lifters who dialed in. It's comforter. Now this one, I kind of did this differently. The 22 liter kind of has things kind of tucked away. The 27 liter has things sort of in a like transport mode. This is the way it'll come to you in the box, but basically this has a luggage pass-through, which you can use this way, or you'd probably put it underneath the straps and use it that way to put it over your rollerboard. But when I first saw this, I was like, oh, that's kind of annoying because that's gonna dig into your back when you're not using it. But they thought of that. And there's these little hidden slits right along this back panel, which we'll talk about here in a second, that you can tuck these things away into, and then they just kind of are out of the way. And so you don't feel it at all on your back. Like I said, I was like, oh, it's gonna be digging into my back when I'm wearing that thing. But again, you just tuck this sucker away, and this back panel protects you from that happening. Now, we've talked about the shoulder straps. The shoulder straps are, I think, they have this interesting foam inside, which is really comfortable, and I like it. It's sufficiently wide and padded enough for this size bag, I would say. We do have a sternum strap. Here it is attached on the 22 liter in olive. We have the same one over here. All the straps are on this side. I'll talk about straps here in a second, but it comes with it, so don't fret on that. This, and it's kind of retains the same features that kind of fell out over here that we had on the Bozeman, and they have these little sewn in little paracordish loops at the bottom, and the straps fit in those, so it really is a seamless little system for you to tighten things down, pull those straps, and it retains them very, very nicely. So you can see that here. But if you really needed all that strap, you can pull it out of that loop, and then you have full access like we have over here. So really nice straps. These back panels are different compared to the Futura because we have this thicker padded foam with the Yeti branding down the middle. And it is sufficiently padded and very comfortable. I packed these things up with several packing cubes to give them a little bit of heft, and it was really comfortable wearing it. So that's really cool. All right, back again, 27 versus 27. Front panels, no different. And we have over here, I have these compression straps. Now these compression straps are completely removable because you just take them out of the tabs in the back. They're the same mechanism. We have one loop on the front of the bag, right here, and then one, bottom. So we have two sets here, loops in the back and the front, so you can attach those and use them as compression, or use them to attach different things. Put your jacket in through here, put a tripod in the side pocket and retain it. So I love when I have the ability to carry big things and the ability to secure them, because then I, go on a motorcycle, go on a bicycle ride and not worry about those things flying off. Now, one thing I will tell you as well, just as an option, is that you can also clip these things just to the front and have full access to the side. So like this one I've been using to use as my quadcopter. I can just click it into the front, but just using these two, and I'm still full access to the bottle pockets on the side for other things. So just an option. You kind of have to work with the straps, put them through the strap keepers, but they're included. So you can really go any way. Full use, totally slick, partial use. You really just have all the flexibility. The Rancheros have the 2 sets included, and you'll find the sternum strap included. So that's 3 straps. The Bozeman came with also a hip belt. We don't have a hip belt option on these. Not a big deal, because it's just not really something I use in this size anyway. So not really a big deal. Now, continuing on, just like 27 versus 27, the Bozeman had 2 top pockets, one that went into the whole lid and then one little flat pocket along the top. The Ranchero just has the one top pocket that goes into the lid for you to put some bigger things, and it also includes the key loop that we've seen other places. It's in all the top of all 3 of these bags, so that's cool. But so just one top pocket, no slit pocket on the top. Now the other big difference, we have a laptop pocket that goes along the back, gets you external access to your laptop. Now in here I just got my 13-inch MacBook Pro. You'll fit bigger ones. I think it says up to 15, so technically not a 16, but I don't have a 16 to test, but I'm betting a 16 fits, to be quite honest. And there's another little compartment back here you can use for some other things. Now there's really no hydration option with either of the Rancheros, so just think through that. That's not a big deal to me, but just something to bring up. AquaGuard zippers, not in here like we had over here, but we have AquaGuard on the external zippers on both the 22 and the 27 liter, which is really nice. Same handle, so really the only big external difference besides the harness is the fact that we have laptop on this one. Just more daily carry version, right? We don't have the side access to the laptop like we did over here. We don't have a hydration port like we had the Bozeman. So really just signaling the different use cases for these 2 bags. Do it all outdoors to EDC travel, that kind of thing. What else? Externally, that's essentially the same. The bottle pockets are the same, which I really did enjoy and do enjoy on the Bozeman. And I think I'm happy, and I am really happy that they're on the Ranchero. Same bottom panel, really cool external fabrics and materials, just really cool. Loop panel in the front, which doesn't come with a patch. Yeti branding on the inside. Yeti, Texas, Buc-ee's, Texas. All right, cool. Now internally, we are going to just see some subtle differences that, really don't make that much of a difference to me. Now, let's pull out some packing cubes so we can go apples to apples. On the Bozeman, we have 2 side pockets. Then we have 2, like really a hydration bladder and a laptop pocket, but basically 2 laptop pockets in the back. And then on the inside, it's really hard to show. We have these drop-in pockets, which are actually on the front of the bag. They're not on the side. So front drop-ins. Now over on the Ranchero, we go a little differently, where first of all, we have a nice padded rear drop-in pocket, which is cool since we didn't have the laptop because that's on the other side. We have 2 side pockets, just like we had on the Bozeman. The drop-in pockets though are on the side. They're not on the front, which I think is a little more useful unless you've got a big bottle in there, and I've got the big 38-ounce Yeti on this side. Really can't use that pocket on the inside, but you can on this side. So again, subtle difference. The drop-ins are on the sides, not the front. One little difference from there, but that's pretty cool. We also have this, I think it's a reversed zipper to get the pad out, which I didn't I forgot to look at this earlier. Yeah, we have it on both. So you can remove that padding on the bottom if you wanted to for whatever reason. I didn't really notice that the first time I filmed the original video. But internally, nice features, really cool. Not much difference, but there are subtle differences. Back pocket and side things for the drop-ins. So there you go. That's that. Let's throw these aside. Those are the differences. Now, let's get out the 22 liter and really talk about what's different between the 22 to the 27. Now, we don't have a laptop area. It's a smaller, more kind of everyday carry kind of thing. We do have the one top pocket, same, and we have a key loop inside to put your, for me a flashlight, for you might be your keys. Aqua guard zipper on the top and the front, loop panel, side pockets, same retention, harness the same, just a little bit smaller footprint. On the inside, a little different too, just because again, we don't have a laptop area outside the bag. Field pockets inside, and the 10 liter Go Rock in here. Now, what's different in here? We have 2 pockets on the rear of the bag for laptop, tablet, potentially. Same pockets, zip on the top, and the same drop-ins on the side. And that's it. Gray interior on the inside. I really do like this color combo, the olive. And that's it. So there you go. Those are the differences. Biggest one being the harness and just a little different layout. If I had to put it in one word, we have harness, we have laptop, then we have just general around town in a great size, 22 liter. Of these 3, the one I've been using around town recently really has been the 22 liter. Just like the overall simplicity of it, but yet some great options in pocketing, places to put stuff, and great water bottles, holders, and a great color. So there you go. That's the Yeti Ranchero versus the Bozeman. Now, some of the questions. These come with a 3-year warranty. If you had to return to them for some reason, you would go through Yeti and they would either repair it or replace it. If you had and this is just kind of going back in time, if you have a Mystery Ranch bag, you're still going to contact Mystery Ranch. Yeti intends for the Mystery Ranch side of things to continue with the fire, rescue, and military side of things. So they'll retain the ability to repair your Mystery Ranch gear from the past. Yeti stuff's just going to go through Yeti. So that's just kind of some information about repairs and how things are going to work in the future. Of course, they're still working out, I'm sure, but this is a future indicator that bags are going to evolve, but yet to continue to be, awesome. So I don't know. Questions I have for the future are though, like the backpack line and some other lines that Mystery Ranch has, what's going to come over to Yeti eventually. I don't know, but I'm looking forward to some of the things. I think the quality material choices, some of the features, and the fact this thing stands is just awesome. So what do you think? I want to know, are you encouraged by this? Do you like the Rancheros? Do you think they should have put the harness on there? I think this is fine and actually like this hybrid version. And so I'm completely satisfied. So leave me a comment down below to let me know what you think about the Rancheros. Anyway, available now. Check the link in the description. Get outside. See you in the next one. Like this video. Subscribe. See ya.